Got two video game stories here, kind of more on the dark side of gaming, if you will. The first one's from Reuters. Teen hacked Uber, Revolut, and Grand Theft Auto maker Unencored Hears. Basically, they're talking about a 18-year-old Ariane Kurtage is said to have targeted Revolut and Uber in September 2022. Blah blah blah. Hack stuff demanding ransom. Basically, he also threatened to release the planned Grand Theft Auto sequels, Grand Theft Auto 6, source code in a Slack message. He's also accused alongside a 17-year-old who cannot be named of blackmailing the BT Group and EE, demanding a $4 million ransom. They also were key players alleged to have hacked NVIDIA and demanding payment. But basically, the thing is, they talk about how these guys kind of got together, but then they also did some solo stuff. He's been assessed by psychiatrists as not fit to stand trial, which they don't tell you here in this article. I think is lacking because of it. But basically, from what I gather, he has autism, and I think he's kind of playing that up. At least that's what it seems. I might be completely wrong on that, but it just seems like he's kind of playing that up more. Because it's like, dude, you're fit enough to do all this hacking. You're fit enough to stand trial. But whatever. And it goes on and talks about he's charged with 12 offenses, including 3 counts of blackmail, 2 counts of fraud, and 6 charges under the Computer Misuse Act. 17-year-old accomplice charged with 2 counts of blackmail, 2 counts of fraud, and 3 charges under the Computer Misuse Act related to hacking. And it's bad news. Bad news, basically. There's another one, though. This is kind of good. I'll link it in the description box so you can read it for yourself. It's a pretty long article. But basically, the Lootboxes game companies agreed to restrict access in the UK. This is from BBC.com. They finally are doing something about it. You can sit there and say it's not going to be enough because, but basically they've got guidelines that they want, 11 new guidelines that underline the industry's commitment to safe and responsible play. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see if that's going to happen. The whole loot box stuff, I wouldn't be too upset if they just outlawed loot boxes, or whatever. Because it's like, what the hell? You're just trying to take advantage. As it says here, are they a gateway to gambling addiction, or just a fun mechanic that enhances players' gaming experiences? Some countries like Belgium and the Netherlands think the former and have banned them, but in other countries, because there's a lot of money to be made. So there's a lot of palms that can be greased and stuff and everything. But anyway, they talk about, the article talks about how the industry's had months to talk about this, to the UK, these bodies and stuff have had quite a while to be talking about it. And they're kind of dipping a toe in, but kind of not. That they're talking about they got commitments. Are there commitments to make available technological controls to effectively restrict anyone under 18 from acquiring a loot box without the consent or knowledge of a parent or guardian? That is to me, it's a kind of a no-brainer kind of a thing. It's like your parents have to at least know, or your guardian or whatever. The second is to drive awareness of these controls with a public information campaign. Game companies will disclose the presence of loot boxes before someone chooses to buy the title. Plan includes rules on how loot boxes should be presented and a commitment to more lenient refund policies. There's also a policy to tackle the black market that surrounds these purchases and do more research about their impact and use. Progress will be reviewed in 12 months. Then it goes on and tells a story about this guy, Dave Sprossen, got into thousands of pounds worth of debt because of an addiction to loot boxes. And it's one of those things where it's like, on the one hand, it's like you're a grown adult, then on the other hand, it's like they're taking advantage of your gambling addiction and stuff. Like I said here, as you can see here, he got 28 payday loans in 12 months. After a 10,000 pound loan, he was struggling to keep his problem hidden. I started defaulting on loans. I forged my partner's signature to get a guarantee for a new loan. And it's like, what the that's freaking, that's crazy, Now then, of course, the part that makes you lose a little bit of sympathy is that his partner found out about his financial troubles with their baby due in a matter of weeks. Money earmarked for a new house and pushchairs, I think that's strollers here for us Americans, was spent on clearing up the debt. Way to go to family and tell them what happened to ask for help. All along this journey, there were times I lay in bed at night and cried and stuff. And, I knew I had a son, coming and stuff. And it's like, I honestly, I'm kind of conflicted because it's like, on the one hand, it's like, dude, you're a grown adult, man. Get a hold of yourself. But then it's like, yeah, but it's also instant addiction and stuff. So I get that. But ultimately I come down on the whole thing of, these loot boxes, they're just no good for the most part. I guess there's some fun to be had. But as you can see here, by 2025, loot boxes will be responsible for generating an estimated $16 billion in revenue for games companies across the world. You know, I mean, are we, you know, we're not going to see that go away anytime soon, are we? I mean, shoot. But anyway, like I said, I'll link this in the description box. You can read the whole thing for yourself. I would kind of recommend it. I mean, I kind of covered all of it for the most part, but you know, you may maybe want to hear a little more detail or whatever. But this is just, you know, from the hacker and stuff. Now you're talking about this. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a good one.